Hello there. We're live. Welcome back. Here Labs live. Red alert day. Ethereum breaking new all-time highs. What's up, guys? Good to see you there in the chat. Not sure what we're pushing live to today. Could be definitely YouTube. Could be Periscope. Could also be we are on Facebook confirmed. Okay, guys. So if you guys are watching from any of those platforms, welcome. Good to have you. We're gonna get to the charts today. As you can see, not quite fully set up in the studio. Had a bit of a crazy weekend moving. Got all kinds of stories about that. I mean, moving on a good day is a little stressful. When it is your office that you work from and you're used to a 14-hour day, every day that you're not 14 hours, you're 14 hours behind. So it's been a bit of a wild few days. I'll be honest. I actually had a crazy ass neighbor who attacked my movers. I shit you guys not. He ran outside, accused my black mover of being a racist Uncle Tom, and then proceeded to headbutt him right before he spit at me by talking in my face. So, and yeah, cops are here, movers were here. Like, it was insane. So, anyways, good to be back with you guys. I missed you. I'm set up in an alternate room today because go figure, the desk wouldn't fit down to the basement. So, anyways, got that all sorted out. Should have the full studio back in action tomorrow for our regular stream on Wednesday. We're actually going to be moving the time slot back an hour to 3 p.m. We got some feedback around, what would work best. I know a couple of you said that later's not better, but unfortunately, on the whole, 3 p.m. is going to be our new slot for now. So starting tomorrow, you can expect to see us at this time pretty regularly, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Probably going to add in some new streams as well. Got a nice new space here. So once that's all set up, it's going to be dope. Anyways, yeah, at the desk, Sydney Hughes. Appreciate that. We got the sports desk here today. Obnoxious neighbor would be an understatement. This guy, yeah, like my other neighbor was like, oh, yeah, no, he's a thing. You're going to just want to use your back door. Don't go outside. He's crazy. I think he's schizophrenic. So, peace be upon him, poor guy. But he's in jail right now. This literally happened to me yesterday. It was kind of a crazy story. Anyways, enough about that. Ethereum, all-time highs. Let's get to the charts. That's all I really want to look at today. And I'm sure I'm not alone in that regard. So we're going to flip over here. I mean, this is Ethereum, right? Talked about these staircase climb ups, these RLZ tags all the way up. Had sort of one last one. I think it got front run though. Let's go check. After this little high. Nope. Sweet spot tag. Perfect. If only trading was so easy as it is in retrospect, right? This was Sunday. I thought this was suspect. Let's take a look. The 1 hour. I thought the weekly open. Now, again, because I've been moving, I've been mostly just on my mobile, which is not great for anything. And, especially when you're like busy doing other shit and then you just go check your phone and you see price action. You're like, oh, what do I do? Without the screens, without all the time to just kind of, it takes me a good hour or two really to sit here and pick through charts and get a feel for what I want to do in the market. So when I saw this, though, on January 31st to open the new week, I thought that was really suspect. And I'll show you why. Because, well, first of all, right here, I mean, the RSI didn't buy in, right? So you're going down into the end of the Sunday. I think there's a lot of fear around like, oh, things are so good right now, but the Monday open is coming. It's going to have to dump. And there's this fear that you don't want to lose all those gains. And a lot of people, I was on Twitter, it was actually blowing my mind after this fail. There was a lot of this like, oh my God, that's so weak. That's so bearish that Ethereum didn't just break the highs. And a lot of longs that were trying to catch that breakout got shaken out. And then into the weekly open or close rather, we got this heavy dump candle. And as that happened, you check your RSI on the hourly, the RSI was making new highs. Or excuse me, higher lows, right? So as price dumped, the RSI didn't follow it. And so I looked at that. I thought that's pretty suspect. I am certainly not rushing to sell my ETH. And what are you going to do? Like catch, like what? I don't even know what you're doing there, right? You're selling here to do what? Buy here, buy here, buy here, trying to get, calling tops on this thing. I don't know. It seemed crazy. I wasn't doing a whole lot of live trading, really just kind of monitoring, looking at things, unpacking boxes, all that fun stuff. Anyways, look at this. Bounce there right after that. So like suspect open on the hourly for the week and then just a strong candle right after. And so after that, I thought, okay, cool. Don't have to do much. Just going to sit tight and enjoy the ride. And then this morning, this blast of volume Where is it? 6, 7 a.m. this morning. Kind of overnight. I was going to sleep last night. I looked at this. I thought, damn, this volume right here coming out of that was very promising. And so late last night, just kind of sitting there. I mean, well, actually, that's not the one. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to draw a GAN up today. If you guys have ever wondered what the hell those crazy GAN squares are, um, yeah. So I feel you, man. Not an adjective that quite describes that guy. We're gonna put up a little GAN. When it hit new all-time highs, big breakouts, high time frame things, it's kind of nice to draw up a new GAN square, play with the GAN stuff a little bit because you would be amazed at some of the shit you can find on those. So we'll draw that up today. Wouldn't say that from watching it you'll be able to do it entirely yourself. It's a kind of a complex thing, but I'll walk you through the steps of it, and maybe you'll be able to learn something from that. Like right here was pretty telling to me as well. So you put in that low, measure it up to this breakout, and what do we always say, right? Come back to the pump chaser zone. But if it gets front run, if it doesn't even make it, that speaks to a very strong internal bullish signal, and it didn't touch the pump chaser zone. It got front run. So when it breaks that and makes new structure, which was right here about 2 hours later, really strong signal. You can figure, oh man, we're really going for it this time. And I think this chart says a lot. Put this out this morning on our Twitter, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, just climbing up, will not fail. Too much buy support coming in. So quietly, all of this time, it was almost like there was just this scramble to acquire more Ethereum. And of course, it failed at this resistance because that's all-time highs. So you would expect a lot of people trying to short there, saying ETH is too slow, the fees are too high, blah, blah, blah. It's overvalued. I don't know. What would compel you to short it here with size other than perhaps collecting on funding, which has been really high? And if you balance that with a nice futures position, it's some spot positions, you can actually just make money on the spread. So probably a bit of that going on. But on the fourth attempt, little wiki through, close, wiki through, close. And then it was just like, no, there's just no more resistance left. All the people that were looking to sell at this level dried up. And so we have blast off. That's right. Ethereum is at an all-time high. And it's just moving. Even as the stream started, it pushed through. Let's go look at the 5-minute. I mean, just as we were getting ready to go live today, I was like, holy shit, it's going again. It's going again. It's going again. So we're into an uptrend. We're in price discovery, which is really exciting. And it means that I need to adjust the way that I'm trading this. I can no longer assume, pump chaser zones are great. They're getting front run here a little bit. But when you're in a strong bullish trend, the bullish throwback is a place that has served me well as far as trying to catch longs. I'll show you what that looks like here. Break up here. There's your throwback. Oh, look at that. Now it's support. Those are places you can start thinking about longs. It's tricky because, and this is why I struggle with this, because where do I put my stop loss here? If my entry is just going to be on this throwback, how much size can I take based on where my stop loss has to be? The best I can do for a valid stop loss would be like the recent pivot low. And so that's your size for risk. So if you want to measure what that looks like, well, okay, then my target has to be at least 3 to 1, which in this case is like 1580, which looks like it's less than a day away, but we'll see. It's really hard to call. I mean, it just looks so friggin' juicy. I don't know that I want to rush into, certainly not selling my spot. Seems like a very odd thing to do within hours of breaking an all-time high with high volume. So I won't be touching my spot positions, but my leverage long, if I'm into some long stuff, then I need to decide where and how I want to scalp this along the way up. If it's really high leverage, then obviously taking some of these profits here and buying little throwbacks here, and those kinds of strategies become more valuable depending on your size and all that. So it's so hard to say like, here's what everyone should do. I mean, it's really a bit of your own. Now let's go look at maybe these teal throwbacks. So again, right? What's that? Okay. Thought I heard something there from the producer. We're good. Breaking up here, pulling back into the throwback, breaking through that, back into the throwback. So kind of following these moves like that. If I need to get high leverage or mid leverage long, 5x, 10x, wouldn't really mess with much higher. chances are, based on, historical ways these things go, is this thing will just go crazy. That's honestly just probably what's going to happen. And then right when it's like, oh my God, I have to get in, and then it's just going to be squeeze out all the people who decided late to just get greedy and try to leverage long. And whatever level that comes back to is going to end up looking so obvious. It's going to be some kind of throwback, and it'll just be, continue on. And if you want to find out, historically what that might look like, let's go back to a breakout that I traded live with Nick. Excuse me, not live like on YouTube, but like live with him. We were on chat. I think it was 280. This is March. Yeah, so that's the March dump. It was right here. So this July breakout around 180. Jesus, cheap Ethereum. So let's look at what that looked like, because this is sort of where we're at. I mean, this isn't price discovery, but it was like highs on the year, right? This is a big consolidation. And once it blasted here and we saw this uptick in volume, we thought, man, this thing's about to go, or at least it could be. So we're going to do some trading, right? Going to see if we can get in on that. And so we loaded up around here somewhere. This is a 4 hour. So, don't quote me on exacts. Whoop. Oh no. Okay. I changed to a 1 hour. Definitely want to get the 1 hour. Where is it? November, October, September. Jesus. July. There we go. There we go. So this was crazy. And it was throwbacks for anything back here. This throwback really never came in. At the time, I thought, oh man, that'll get filled in someday. Still might, but probably not. And it definitely did not after. But breaking to a new high, there was the throwback. That was the next chance to add to a long. Again, there you go, right? New high. There's that throwback. So if you're in a strong bullish trend, these little checks of the recent highs will come in. So, trading from strength, not chasing into the highs on leverage with no real sense of where your stop loss is, because that's just a great way to lose money during what is otherwise should be easy money. I mean, like sometimes the market just hands it to you, right? It says, I'm a bull and I'm going to keep going higher. Price discovery, on-chain metrics off the hook. Everything's going crazy. The only way that I can fuck that up on the long side is by trying to lever up and get liquidated on those big big nukes. In this case, 287 over 3 hours went all the way down to 277. Not that crazy. Up here, right? Blasting off. No, big dump back down. So washing out the longs along the way. And then obviously this huge one came in. This was like the nuke. And a lot of people, as you can see, got liquidated there. So just, keep that in mind, guys. It's really exciting. If you're long, congrats. You are experiencing price discovery on possibly the hottest asset in crypto right now. If you're not yet on leverage, it's tricky right here. It is tricky right here, especially with anything like high leverage, even though it's looking so fucking good and it just looks like it wants to go higher. To me, this is the beginning of a larger breakout. It's just a matter of like, okay, well then how do I get in? So, this morning was the setup for sure. There was some nice stuff here. Put it out on Twitter as sort of like, wow, look at this. Right. I think I was actually looking at the 15-minute this morning. Couldn't tell. Oh my God. So I have a dog now. There he was. He's more of a rooster, actually. Anyways, let's get over to some charts. Like, what is Bitcoin dominance doing through all this? Trending down. Hold on. I'm going to yell at the dog here. Give me a half sec. All right. Think he's okay. Quiet dog. All right. Let's get to the charts here. We've got Bitcoin dominance. 62.5% trending down. I mean, this is a clear downtrend, right? Elon Musk added Bitcoin to his Twitter profile over the weekend, and we got this, a nice little spike up, too far, too fast for the corn. The market didn't accept it, and it got pushed right back down. So we are trending down on Bitcoin dominance. That is something to keep an eye on. ETH BTC, really clean looking chart. Let's zoom in a little bit here. We've got the bullish throwback, right? So you've got the we got the weekly breakout level. Should probably just start on the weekly. I mean, this, we talked about this, right? This was a massive 2-year bottom formation breaking out on volume. I mean, this just speaks to such a monstrous bull run. It's so exciting to think about. Absurd targets, not to be a moon boy, guys. You know me, I'm not just Mr. Moon Boy, but like Ethereum, it could just be ridiculous. Yeah, everyone's saying, oh, I'm not going to sell till 2, I'm not going to sell till 4, I'm not going to sell till 5. There are people out there that know what they're talking about that are holding on for things like 10, 15, 20 $1,000 Ethereum. I'm not going to go and make bold long-term predictions because those don't serve me well. They don't serve you well. And frankly, I have no fucking idea where this thing's going. But I will tell you this. This weekly speaks to a longer-term uptrend of monstrous proportions. That's what it looks like, objectively speaking. It just does not look like a top. It doesn't even look close to a top. It looks like the beginning of a new cycle. So that's really exciting because altcoins versus Bitcoin should do well on the whole. They will have drawdowns, they will have little pullbacks, they will have boring moments, but on the whole, they look like, because look, now we don't have these bullshit tokens entirely. There's definitely a lot of bullshit tokens. Let's get the weekly views up here for dominance. BTCD. Okay, here we go. So look at this longer term view of dominance, right? This is 2017 when Ethereum, started existing. Bitcoin was basically the only thing of any real sustenance back then, or substance. And then Ethereum came on the scene. It was like, look at me, I'm a bitch. I'm a bull. I'm a big crazy bitch. And then, December 7th, it bottomed. And then it just went insane. $1,400. That was the highs. Altcoins going crazy. And ever since then, Bitcoin has just been the boss. We had a little bit of reprieve in the DeFi summer, made this high, which weirdly enough, even though a lot of people don't agree with charting dominance, this thing, it works. Resistance. Sweep the highs even. Who's running the stops? I don't know. It's dominance. But that's what happened. And now we're just tanking. So yeah, Bitcoin is a big deal. It's exciting. It's decentralized. It's, you can hedge with it. Billionaires are interested in it. But now you've got DeFi. Now you've got these coins, these tokens that actually provide yield, that give services that, they have sort of real fundamental underlying value. And so I don't know that this is going to be as flash in the pan sort of thing. I think it's a bit of a new era going on with altcoins, a lot of them anyways. And Ethereum really leading the way still as the base layer to all that. And this weekly breakout is just, so hot. So zooming in on the daily is probably appropriate right now. And you can see this beautiful touchback last week into the pump chaser zone, into that bullish throwback. So it's clear for takeoff now. There's nothing really technically that needs to be cleaned up on this chart at this level. And we're seeing that today. Obviously, it's taking off, even as Bitcoin moves a little bit. I got a Bitcoin chart here somewhere. I swears I got Bitcoin somewhere. Here it is. And, this is breakout volume, although it is sort of like, this was a breakout. So interestingly enough, technical breakout happened before the Elon Musk thing really took off. And then when that thing happened, it's like, holy shit, the richest guy in the world who's already kind of toyed with Bitcoin and crypto and Doge and all that, he's now putting it on Twitter, like he's promoting it. So that's huge. It's monstrously huge. It doesn't mean it's like insta bull run, but it definitely warranted this, which could have been a lot of liquidated shorts, because right here, obviously the shorts were piling in, being really bearish, and then it just licked them, swept these highs, drawdown into this SR flip, sweet spot of the move, and now we're just moving again. So everything just looks so good, guys. Looks so good, so bullish. Let's check the chat. ETH is in full send. Hey, is that Nick? Is that Nicholas? Yep, sounds a lot like Nick. We got Nick in the chat, guys. Say hello, Mr. Cote. ETH BTC weekly, godly inverse head and shoulders execution will happen. Yeah, seriously. I agree with you. It's really hard to look at this chart and then talk to somebody about why it's bearish or why we should be cautious. I mean, always manage your risk, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I do that ad nauseum, and the portfolio still grows in a compounding way. You know, it's a myth that you have to take big risks to make big returns. It is a myth. It is a common misconception, rather. If you just manage risk long term over time and just, risk 1%, gain 4%, risk 1%, gain 4%, blast off, like over time, you will see significant growth. But the start is slow. It's like a snowball. It's painful. And then eventually everything just compounds and gets exponential. It's crazy. So just don't do anything crazy, right? Blow yourself up during this massive opportunity. I think easily the next resistance, I mean, the most obvious one. And the cool thing is this is so obvious that, where's the selling happening in here? Anybody here that wants to be a bear and wants to change directions and wants to take profit, why would they do it here? Somebody will. There'll be something in the book, but the big orders, the supply in the market is waiting up here. So day to day, you're looking at the 5 minutes, you're staring at the books. This might have some movement on the way up. That's a weekly. So that's like March. Probably going to happen a little quicker than that. But looking back, this is probably going to look like butter, and then it'll get up here and we'll see consolidation. Because it's kind of a void there. I mean, yeah, there's a little consolidation back here, blah, blah, blah. But this just looks so good. I don't even want to say anymore, guys. I've said it 10,000 ways. ETH is bullish. It's at all-time highs. Let's get a GAN going. What's your method for hedging risk? Yeah, hedging risk. I mean, for me personally, I don't get too fancy with it, like shorting on 2x leverage with the amount of Bitcoin that's in my portfolio and just basically de-risking. Trading FTX futures contracts against perps and spot positions. There's a lot of, in fact, Rob from Hxro and I were talking this morning. We are going to come on and discuss that. But how do I do it for hedging risk? Honestly, when I'm just up a lot and I'm worried about it, or I want to have some profit, or I want to take some risk off the table, I just sell my shit to USDT, USDC, some part of it. Take that risk off the table. And there's still risk in the stable coins to some. Some will be like, well, Tether has risk. Like, okay. But they told me Tether had risk in 2017. And I didn't take a lot of money off the table. And Tether's fine. It's been worth roughly $1 for the last 4 years. So those people who decided to stay in their shit coins because Tether was risky found out just how risky, other coins can be. So I like to just take risk off on the table in the form of stable coins, sometimes even straight to the bank, get it out, pay the taxes on it, make it real. Sometimes the swings you see in a portfolio are, blasé, right? It's like, oh, I'm up 4K, I'm down 4K, I'm up 10K. Like, you get these crazy swings, but the second you pull like 2, 3, 4, 5K out and put it in your bank, you're like, holy shit. That's like a month of, food, life, rent. Like it becomes real. So I do that sometimes to hedge risk. I did a lot of that through December and January. Now I'm kind of done. I'm ready for the bull now. I feel like I'm in a position of strength. I'm not too worried if things roll over a bit. Comfy. You got to get comfy as soon as possible. It might take you a year, take you 2 years, take you a few months, but you should have some targets and you should get good practice at paying yourself. And then more importantly, not looking back to be like, what if I didn't pay myself? How much more would I have had? Like that's just noise. Don't do that. Total waste of energy. And if anything, it'll just make you buy back higher and then get wrecked because you were right, but you were early kind of thing. There's a few altcoins we should look at. I think, what do you think, guys? I mean, you could throw some charts in there if you have specifics. Moon over Minsk says, FYI, I just had the vote, has been hanging in the market. With that done, can this dog run or is it going to be a snoozer? What's on the chart? Yeah. YFI. Okay. Let's take a look at YFI. Wifey. Look at the wifey. Tether. It's consolidating. Whew, look at that. Kind of close, my squiggly. Maybe a little early. But same kind of idea. Let's just drag it over, right? The idea that we would get up into here and just have some kind of chill time. and it looks really good. Versus USD, this thing looks good. I mean, it's consolidating, hasn't lost any key levels. In fact, it confirmed a big bearish market structure here. Where were the bears? Didn't show up. After a big M top like that, you would expect they might. Confirmed another one right here with that lower low candle close on the daily. Where are the bears? Didn't show up. Bears are sleeping. They don't exist. Not at this level. Very good signs for YFI. And it has been sleepy, hasn't it? I mean, nobody's even talking about it right now. January 8th, got up here, made not an all-time high, but a new local high here on January 18th, and has since just been kind of boring. So I wouldn't be shocked to see this thing do some work. Let's just get rid of the ink and start a fresh chart here. Get down here, see where we're at in reference to the range. We are tagging all that pump chaser zone, which, in retrospect was an excellent level. Easy to do in hindsight, but, same old thing. Pump chaser zone, confluent with this SR level where we were getting some price action play. So longs at, 27,800 are sitting pretty right now, can basically risk to these lows right next to them. A little bit of size in there. And who's in control here? Sell volume increasing over the buy volume? Nope. Buy volume is all higher, meaning that the bulls generally are in charge. They are driving the bus. And just today, the last 4-hour close, we had a nice little breakout volume here on the buy side. So keep an eye on YFI. This thing looks pretty good. From an ROI standpoint, it's such a high priced coin that, doesn't really matter percentage wise, but probably going to be harder to get a 2x for me from 32K to 64K versus nice little shit coin that has a lower cap. So I've never been huge on YFI as far as being my first choice to trade, but man, when she runs hard. Let's see what I was doing over here. As you can see, guys, not really looked at this one in quite some time. Versus Bitcoin, looks like it's chilling in a reload zone. Let's go take a look. Yep, right off the sweet spot. So this chart I like a lot more as far as what I want to trade for it. If I have some Tether and I have some Bitcoin, Tether, interesting. Bitcoin, juicy. Trading away my Bitcoin here for YFI seems more attractive to me. Still, probably not my number one trade right this minute. If you guys are wondering what I am trading, I gum launched today, by the way, Gourmet Finance. Kind of cool little project. But let's take a look at, some of my shitters, some of my little smaller coins. They say shit coins. People, if they're in that community, they go, it's not a shit coin, it's the future. Well, I'm not saying otherwise. I just say shit coin because no one's heard of it and it's new. But this kind of thing, love a new launched coin that looks like this. So I picked up some kudos probably a week or two ago, been adding a little bit. Oh, this is ChartX. So I got a custom reverse, move to the right, give it a little background, remove this and that and that. There we go. So yeah, look at this thing. Tell me that's not a decent area to be thinking about along. Well, I'd call you crazy. This is where I like to long shit. So I've been adding a little through here over the last little week. Another one, what's it called? Infi. Now this one I tweeted out about yesterday. It's also looking really good. This one is a sub 3 million. Now, don't quote me on that. It was 2.5 through here. So somewhere in that sort of definitely sub 5 million market cap. Apparently, the circulating supply is pretty low compared to full, max supply. So you might want to look after the inflation. Keep an eye on what that looks like. Is it a farm coin? I don't know. I'll tell you this. It's an insurance play powered by Polkadot. It's a Polkadot project, which, as you guys know, I'm very bullish on everything Polkadot. It's not like maybe the Kusama of Polkadot. It's just another new project that will be running on Polkadot. But tell me this doesn't have any upside. I think I'd call you crazy. I think this thing can really run. So I have loaded up on this as well. In fact, look at this. Just in the last evening, this guy put in a nice little SR flip, kind of coming out of this consolidation right through into the 88.6 off the launch price. So yeah, keeping an eye on INFI, insurance finance. I think let's go see here. Insured finance. Looks good. I think I got in around 43, 46, 49. Not the best entry, not the worst entry, and it's starting to move a little bit. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this. Yeah, I like the product. I like the idea of the product, I should say. And that is basically to bring a little more insurance into the sales space. You know, you can insure your holdings that are on exchanges, smart contract coverage, rug pull coverage, protect against stablecoin failure. I mean, these are things that people want. They want to pay a premium to not have to worry about that shit. It's not the first and only insurance coverage or play, but it's the first one I've heard about on Polkadot. Anyways, there's my long form shill. Obviously, could do a little more research myself, but I know enough to know that I want a bag, and I have one. Royal Fortune, kudos, ready to pop. Yeah, kudos looks really good too. Working with AMD, says the Royal Fortune. Appreciate that insight. And this is why, this is why I love to bring this stuff up on stream, because there's often a lot of guys in the audience who know about these projects a little more than I do. I'm more of a chart guy, and I take some of these ideas that people share with me and I apply the chart and I put my setup on it and I just run with it. But I am by no means like captain of the DD squad. I've got a few guys who I know really know their shit. So if they give me a recommendation, I don't really look too far into it. I just say, oh, Polkadot, sub 5 mil, insurance, let's go. Don't pay for gas anymore. Yeah, CFI looking good. Lots of developments coming. Let's take a look at CFI. I have a bag. Looked at it lately. It's pushing back up to the 7. Yeah, I saw a nice little pullback on the portfolio over the weekend, which is normal because it just broke the all-time highs. Clean up that chart a little bit. And look at this volume. This is promising. So this is what I like to see, guys. You get to the all-time highs, and it's like, we're going to come back and just check. And sure enough, that stuff we were talking about today, bullish retest, throwbacks, double tap here. And then this volume is a new all-time high in buy volume. So does that speak to a potential breakout and continuation? Absolutely. In fact, I would say the probability of this making a new all-time high sometime in the next day or two, extremely high. Probability-wise, I'd say it's over 95% that this is going to make a new all-time high in the next few days. Or hours. I mean, who knows? But, now that does mean there's a 5% chance it will not. Can't be wrong when you're talking about probabilities. It can just be off over time. But anyways, my 2 cents. Geyser.core, RSR share. Okay, we got a couple of requests. We're going to start flying through them, guys. It's like about 3/4 of the way through the hour. We're going to have Oh Hey Matty on the stream tomorrow. If you guys don't know who that is, he's been on our stream before, and he was around in 2017 doing spreadsheets for ICOs. Really good at ranking them, doing his due diligence, researching, finding out exactly which ones were the best to invest in. And he had a lot of success in that. And so I've had the pleasure of working with him. And I've invited him on the stream tomorrow to walk us through some of his due diligence processes, because I think that's going to be really valuable as we get into a bigger, broader bull market, if that is what's coming, which I believe it is. A lot of new projects, a lot of scams, a lot of bullshit. How are you going to sniff it out? We're going to dive into that tomorrow, and on a bit more of, I would say, extended stream, in the sense that we'll get through more. Today, we're just doing a nice, quick, tight hour, as I still have to go and actually create my setup again. I am working on 2 screens right now, and it's weird. It's weird. I don't have all my views. I'm just working on 6. So I'm going to get that all set up tonight, and we'll have Oh Hey Matty in here tomorrow to talk all things due diligence and, and charts too. I mean, the guy's a sick trader. So I confirmed with him last night he will be here. Geyser looks good. Holy shit. Who brought this up? Love this coin. This chart, I should say. I don't know much about the coin, except for I've heard of it in my circles a few times. But that's what you want to see, guys. You want to see boredom, death, low volume, whop, big blast of buy volume, and then look to that reload zone. So this is like a ready-made go. Oh, shit. Dog is trying to keep me safe here by being a rooster. Little turkey. Let me see this. Oh my, what is going on here? Why would it open up like that? It's so weird. Anyways, see if I can get this dog to can it. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. We're not measuring risk on this. That's what the universe is trying to tell us. But let's see just what we're risking downside. Price, 37. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big drawdown. So maybe finding a risk window here. I mean, it's Uniswap. So is there even a stop loss to be had? Just maybe sizing such that whatever happens. But this thing looks just great. You want to see big volume off the lows. And that speaks to the breakout of a broader move. So that's dope. Yes. Yes. Good to see you guys. Excited to see Oh Hey Matty on here. He will be here tomorrow. Polkadot released major news about doing ETF for the mainstream and stuff. Could you please do TA on DOT? Hell yeah. Haven't looked at DOT in a while, actually. And that is a product of me having secured free position. So, I don't really look at it right now. Doesn't mean and that's perhaps like a mistake on my part because I'm super bullish on it. So I key throwbacks, retracements, reload zones. I should be looking for new trades, but I traded it already. Let me show you what the hell I'm talking about, and then we're gonna look at that USD chart because I think we should probably be looking at that. You guys may remember on our Twitter at Real Hero Labs. If you're not already following us, you can check it out. It's totally free. It's analysis. It's education. It's the best I've got, and it's not too bad. So come check us out on Twitter at Real Hero Labs. Now, this was a consolidation that we were looking at really closely on there. So by picking this up and then selling half my position when it doubled, I now just have like a free dot bag, and I'm just not really looking at, touching it or anything for a good better part of the year. So that's sweet. That's my goal. Find really good things that I'm really bullish on, securing that free position as soon as possible, and then just riding it. No sweat. I couldn't tell you what the price of dot is till I looked today because that's the thing. Whereas I have some pretty sizable positions in some other shit coins, and I check their price like every 10 minutes, right? The goal is more bandwidth, which means free positions, less risk, all that shit. This looks pretty good. I mean, blasting off the bottom, big volume coming in, coming back into the pump chaser zone, filling anybody who had the wherewithal to draw one of these up and actually use it. So that's kind of cool. And now it's just consolidating. So, the one thing here, when you get this new high here and not that much volume, probably means you need to cool down a bit. That's just what we're seeing. So, wouldn't be in a huge rush on that one. But look at this. I mean, this just looks like a bull flag, bull flag, bull flag, bull flag. Which, for those of you who don't know, comes after a large or strong move. You got the stick. You get the stick here, and then you just kind of flag out. And when that breaks, it usually breaks to the upside. And then we see where the next leg takes us. And we have this wicked tool that you can use to do that called a Fibonacci extension. And there's a few ways to draw them. I typically just do it nice and simple. I pick the most recent key pivot low, which is that, and I draw it up to the next high. And then we measure that move and extend it 1.618. So, basically 161.8% extended on that move. So we take that whole move and add 61.8%. And then you get this, which is a key Fibonacci level. So if this breaks to the upside, $26 looks like where I would be looking for the next stop. Let's make that green. Got my patterns to look for here. Yeah, so that's what that looks like to me. What do you guys think of DOT? I think it's bullish, super bullish on DOT. So, and again, bottoming, post-launch, shake it out, boring, big blast of buy volume, kicks off a bull market or a cycle. This does not look like a complete cycle at all. So really bullish on what comes next. Now, you could say that it's sort of an Elliott wave. We're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 question mark. And if that happens, I would not be suddenly rushing to buy here because as far as cycles goes and market rhythms, you may then just get this A, B, C, and then we just do whatever that looks like. And then there's maybe more later. So that next impulse, great. After that, I'd be looking for maybe a little correction, which would be part of a healthier, broader bull market kind of vibe. So yeah, super bullish. And then the other thing is you could probably get better returns on things that are kind of like Polkadot, running on Polkadot, stuff like that. So looking at Polkadot projects, trying to get them when they're in really low forms on their chart, and that goes back to that InFi one that I was looking at earlier. That's a Polkadot play. And when this thing goes wild, everything that's hanging out with it is going to echo. Speaking of which, let's get this quad going. Sick little pattern going on in the market we should talk about. Ooh, that's a different one. That's NFTs. They're going crazy too. Maybe it's here. Yeah. Okay. And then Serum. So this was Uni. A little quad going yesterday. Let's pull it up. Oh, baby. So look at this. And this is the best thing as a trader. So, pay attention to this because this is my favorite shit when I'm trading is echo pumps. Finding something that is a theme, identifying a pattern of what's rallying, and then finding the next one in that pattern. And so what you had here was Uni going crazy, Sushi Swap going crazy. Suddenly people go, man, if they're going nuts, 1 inch is undervalued. 1 inch goes crazy. Then people kind of tuned into Serum. They say, wow, Serum's a DEX as well. And it has a token. Serum now breaking out, basically hitting my free position targets that I've been outlining since back here early January. Getting long off this bullish retest, sick little breakout, coming into levels now where, generally speaking, I was like, well, I can take my risk off the table there and then, have that free position working. Not the same as calling tops on something, right? It's about rotating. So I can get my initial back, rotate it into something that's low in its range, a new trade, and then still have exposure to Serum because all of these have made new highs. Sushi obviously hasn't cleared this, but it's cleared the candle body closes, and it's just kind of in its own little price discovery in a way. I expect Serum to get there as well. So I'm not rushing to, get out of that one. But what is like these? What are some other DEX ideas? Any exchange tokens right now, guys? Something to keep an eye on. So we can move off 1 inch. Let's look at BNB. The exchange token to rule all exchange tokens also got a big bump today. Basically hit $50. Let's see. Oops. How we doing? We still live? Just had an error pop up. Getting the loading wheel. That's weird. I think we're good live. Guys, just mention in the chat if anything's changing. I'm seeing us though. I think we're good. Just had a weird little YouTube error pop up. Cake. Yeah, guys, there's so much. So, okay. This is probably a good time for a very brief discussion on, how the hell do you pick when everything's going crazy? And it's very easy to get caught up looking at a leaderboard. Let's go look at the leaderboard here. Oh, top gainers. Do they have that on this thing? I always use it on largest movers. Yeah, there we go. I always use it on CMC. So look, and then it's very easy to look here and be like, oh man, if only I bought that, I'd be up $200. I'd be up this, I'd be up that. And then you get caught maybe even trying to catch the thing that's rallying, which sometimes works out. On the weekend, I almost aped into IDEX. I saw that these DEX tokens were all moving and, and it went crazy. It started pumping like a madman. So what you don't want to do is get so overwhelmed and you're trying to chase the pumps. So trying to get that trade set up going where, okay, this thing went crazy. Let's pull it up on the bigger screen, especially for those of you on mobile, that would be obnoxiously small. So here we go. IDEX breaks out. I decide I want in because it's an undervalued DEX coin. How can I get in? Well, there's my reload zone. That's where I can start thinking about getting in. That happened just hours, like a day after the initial breakout on the 31st into Sunday. Okay, I missed that. Well, I still really want to get in. Well, I draw up this next range, reload zone, right? Finding these levels to get in, guys. And then how do you choose between, because you guys have mentioned 50 different coins today in the chat, and none of them are wrong. They're probably I would imagine are all going to do really well. I mean, it's just that kind of market. And in the end, like at the end of 2017, which was really like market peak, literally every single thing in the market 10x. Every little shitcoin, didn't matter, product, team, anon, nothing, white paper, no big deal, no website, no big deal. Every single thing, because it just turned into like buy anything that hasn't pumped yet. That's the max peak mania. So in that sense, eventually, if we're going to see history repeat itself, all this shit will do that. But how to optimize along the way? Well, for me, I look for those patterns like we talked about. Right now, what is hot is these DEX tokens. They are just catching bids. And you can see IDEX. I don't know what its volumes are like. I don't know what its future prospects are like. I know it was one of the first, but it's been clearly surpassed by some of the bigger names, Uniswap, SushiSwap, Serum probably sneaking up on its tail pretty fast, if not already surpassing it in volumes. But it's going to pump. Why? Because all of these did, and it looks the same. So find those patterns. We're going to be playing that game on here. It's a bit of an Easter egg hunt. For example, if an insurance play pumps, cover, for example, if that goes crazy, and then one other insurance coin goes crazy, you can start looking for the third, fourth, and fifth, every other insurance coin and start parking bets. And within 48 hours, you'll have a pretty good idea of where you're at. So you need one or two, or sometimes even the third of a sector. Supply chain management, right? Let's go see vet. I did pick up some vet on the weekend. Nothing too crazy. Small bag at like 77 sats. Go see if it's in profit. I don't even know. I haven't checked today. Oh, 79. So it's kind of like, I think, I picked it up in this pullback here. It just looks like it got smacked down as we speak, but whatever. It's trending up. So wherever it was, I think somewhere through here, picked up some vet at 77 because, reload zone 77 618. This is a supply chain management blockchain. If that thing goes crazy, and then just firing off the cuff here, because another one I know of from back in the day is Walton chain. If this then decides to go crazy, then you could start to look at any other thing to do with supply chain. The one is Ambrosis, already starting to move a little bit. The inflation was a big concern with this one, and that's, I think, why we saw this prolonged aggressive sell-off, while the what do you call master nodes and stuff, they're getting rewarded, and Ambrosis probably selling. So you really need a lot of demand on this one to do well. But as you can see, when it runs, and it looks like it has turned the corner for now. So one thing you might do is get a spreadsheet, start categorizing projects, tracking them. And then when you see one or two or three from any category pumping, you can pretty safely just say, well, I'm going to start looking for my trade setups on those other coins in that category. We're into that kind of season, which is so exciting, because there are 6,000 or more tokens out there, probably more now, because I've been using that number since the summer. So it's probably more. And, where the hell do you start? Everything looks so good in many cases. So start with the echoes, guys. Start to try to find those. And we'll keep trying to identify that on the stream here. Pull up Bridge Mutual, aka insurance on the charts. Okay, Bridge Mutual. Is that one on here? Ali. Uniswap. Let's go. Oh, 1 minute chart. Oh, I don't know if this is it. Weird. Let's go see. BMI. Okay. Saw this one mentioned today. Okay. There's the dog. My dog is doing his best impression of a rooster. Usually I'll be on another floor, but as I said, guys, I'm on a temporary setup. Let me just give him a holler 1 sec. All right. I think you got the picture. Okay, Bridge Mutual, not giving me much charts. I think it's over here. Bridge. Oh, BMI. There we go. Okay. BMI is moving today. Wow. Nice rally on BMI. tough with not much chart history or information about it for me to say like I can rush in here. It looks really good. But I mean, God, if I was holding this thing, I'd be pretty excited. It's trending up for sure. No real signs. I mean, there's a 5-minute, so it's hard to say anything about a top. You just want to keep an eye on the volume. You know, if you're making new highs, you want to see a higher volume. In this case, you kind of have that. Arguably sell volume on this highest candle, but you know, it's looking good. Consolidation after a pump on higher volume. So really strong looking launch, which was just 3 days ago for Bridge Mutual. So exactly. So if BMI comes out and goes ham, and you know another insurance play goes ham, and another one, like go find every insurance play you can find that's not total dog shit, and start hunting longs, start hunting pump chaser zones, start hunting RLZs, bullish throwbacks, whatever, because yeah, that's just the kind of market we're in right now, and that's really fucking exciting news. Let's go down my list. Actually, you know what? Let me check the chat. I want to get. We had a good list of requests. I don't need to go down my list. Let's go down to your guys' list. I need new ideas like Core. God, Core's still around. That's a really good sign. It's doing really well in the summer. I never really followed it too close. I did a few chart requests on it, but I've heard good things. And yeah, I seem to recall sort of like a proceed with caution message back here in the fall, but I actually thought it was summer. But that just goes to show time flies. This consolidation looks really good. Like if you're a bull and you're kind of like, what next? Usually you want to see that where you just come in, look at that sweet spot, just swimming along the 702. So when it breaks out, after, you know, the longer the consolidation, it's like charging up energy. And when that energy is released, you see it on the chart. So you want to see a big consolidation before a move. And this is just what you have. The cool thing about this, if I want to be thinking about future targets, let's get into that chaos. Chaos on Core is pointing to a $13,000 token. And that's basically just measuring the low and then the high of this consolidation and then kicking out a 4.669 chaos level. And it looks crazy. They always do because it's like 4.6 times that distance. But they hit quite a bit. So if this thing breaks out, big if, you know, I'm not saying like it's gonna and it's gonna, but like if this thing breaks out, whatever that ends up looking like, you know, thinking about chaos up here, which is like synonymous with pay yourself. Really nice. And my guess is that there is some degree of confluence here with this fib extension, which happens a lot. Yeah, kind of. Well, it's actually a little higher, but you know, that idea. So this range is an area where if I'm long on Core, I'm going to be getting pretty aggressive paying myself. Not because it's the calling tops, but man, if you're riding up there, you better pay yourself. As a trader, the hell are you doing if you're not paying yourself on that? Anyways, yeah, this looks good. I don't know if it's ready yet. You probably want to see, you know, this is a nice little move of volume, descending buy volume. You probably want to see like a new buy volume high come in. When that happens, that's a dip. The next dip I'm getting excited about. And that's something to think about in this market too, right? You can buy into these consolidations just because you know, or you think you know, or you know, you're pretty sure that that's like the lows are in and you just, oh, it's a strong project, I'm just going to buy and hold. But like if you did that here from October, November, December, January, you're out of the market. You're just sitting flat. And there's a lot of cost involved in that when things are going 2x and 5x sometimes over the weekends. So you have to ask yourself, where's your opportunity cost? And that's where I get so obsessed with volume. Where are the bulls going to go next? Well, most of the time they can't really hide their position. They show it on the chart. You see it in the volume, and then you're like, holy shit. You know, great example of that just from this last weekend on XRP, believe it or not, right here. So let's look, you know, what's on the chart? How'd you know? Well, XRP, most people not paying attention to it, breaking up off of its lows, tagging the 618, not even really swimming in the reload zone, just barely getting a touch. But here was the signal right here. That was actually one of the Wall Street Bets guys tweeting, something about like XRP, the future. And then, of course, that retraces because it's just a tweet and it's not enough to sustain an entire market. But that was a signal, right? And then you can just get a little greasier, get in here. That's another little fib I can use to measure my risk. And suddenly, this area becomes very attractive. And wherever I end up there, I don't know why these things are so oversized today, but then I can start measuring there. All that. Oh, why is there someone at my door? Crazy day today. And yeah. Shh. Hey, shut up. Die. Shh. So yeah, writing was on the wall here. And so keeping an eye on these little breakouts, when you have a consolidation and you just see this volume come in, it's boring as hell. I mean, this was like almost 2 days of sitting flat. And if you're on leverage, that can feel like an eternity. But then holy shit, right? Paid off. So spot the volume after a long consolidation, showing signs of a breakout, and then just have faith. Weirdly, let's go see what Pickle's doing. I have a big bag of Pickle. Kind of like just because of that thing, what we just talked about. This thing's been bleeding out, coming into the lows, boring, nobody's paying attention. It's a finance play, pickle jars, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm starting to learn a bit more about it. Kind of like buy first, research later. So off these lows, boring, but look at this volume. Big spike up. So after I saw that, I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to start paying attention to pickle. And so I loaded some up through here. And if you zoom in, it looks pretty bullish through that. There was some big whale exit yesterday, which sucks. That's probably going to kill the momentum short term. But when I saw this, I got pretty excited after that breakout on that volume. So, added some here or picked some up there, added some there, added some here, and we're moving. We'll see what this pullback looks like. I really hated that candle. It's just like somebody just aped like a huge hold bag of pickles, but whatever. That's the way she goes, and they're probably just tired of holding because it has been a long, drawn out wait for them if they've been in for a while. So let's see. I think we're in a pump chaser zone right now. So I'm not getting too worried about it. It's a bit of a midterm for me because these finance coins are going crazy. So I do have some pickles. We're sitting on the pump chaser zone. I don't know that I'll add there, but I certainly won't be selling there. Let's see what Nord is doing. That's another one I've been loading up. This just looks pretty good. What can I say? Another one of my larger DeFi bags right now. Flipping that SR level, just kind of hanging out on top. Big buy volume coming in, lots of volume. Another little spike right there. So looks good. Enough said. Back to the chat. VGX, OMG from Facebook. Okay, so we got requests from Facebook. What's up, CCI? Good to see you guys. If you're watching on our Hxro Labs Facebook page, let's take a look at OMG. OMG, which chart do I want to do? Probably this one. And I might even have some OMG ink from before. I was charting it last month. Yeah, a little bit. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at the buy volume, right? I mean, again, just this stuff, guys. Once you get it, it's easy to see. Big long downtrend after Tether announced that they were going to partner with OMG and start running some Tether on the OMG network. That's huge news. Should be a ton of demand for OMG. But it was just news, and it didn't actually create suddenly all this demand. And we saw what happens when that happens. And now all that, what are you waiting for? The buy volume to come in. And it did on divergence, actually. Right here, you can see confirmed bullish divergences. So, yeah, I mean, all intents and purposes, this is the bottom for OMG versus Bitcoin until it's not. So risking to those lows, I'm fairly confident will age well. Of course, if these lows break, all bets are off. Bitcoin comes out going crazy. OMG is going to lose value compared to Bitcoin. But until that happens, this looks very bottomy, very, very bottomy. And we're just making, another high in volume just yesterday. So looks really strong. And then this pullback here, my guess is Bitcoin is moving right now. Is it moving? Seeing a lot of red candles on Bitcoin pairs. Yeah, it's starting to move today. So, keep an eye on this. If let's just also remember, guys, if Bitcoin breaks out of this, pennant, which it already kind of has. So I'm actually a little bit cautious right now. I'm sliding some of my alt positions into Bitcoin because I don't want to have zero Bitcoin. Because you got to cement some of those gains, when you see Bitcoin start to rumble, because it's very easy to forget right here who the king is during all this. ETH BTC breaking out, looking good, probably leaning towards ETH overall right now. But if Bitcoin decides, hey, I'm going to party now because billionaires like me, and we're going to, hey, shut up. We're going to store some wealth. If Bitcoin parties, forget about it. All of those altcoins are going to go down at least to their reload zone. And I think as we get near the end of the show today, we should talk about that, because that's an opportunity and you want to be prepared for it. Let's see, where are we going to look at that? What's a good one that's been rallying? I think even like shut up. This babysitting this dog today. I'll usually have my office and a door and all that. Bit of an impromptu grind on this one. Let's see. So look, KNC, perfect example. And for those of you, maybe you're just joining us today for the first time, and so you haven't heard me say this, but bottoms don't tend to form in one W like this, and then they just break out and that's it, right? You end up usually with like a longer rounded bottom. And whatever that looks like, you just get this like accumulation phase. And then you get the breakout, then you get the retest, and then it's a bull market, right? So I would not be shocked, and it would make a lot of sense if this is no different. And so what you end up with is Bitcoin breaks to new highs, bull, bull, bull. Bitcoin slows down, alt's starting to be a bull. Bitcoin wakes back up, makes another leg. These things all come down. And right when you want to sell them, because you're scared, because you want your Bitcoin back, well, you're selling in a reload zone. And so what we want to be doing, what I want to be doing, because this isn't financial advice, but what I want to be doing is buying in these. And usually when these come in, everyone's looking at Bitcoin. Everyone's trying to sell. Everyone's just thinking, get the hell out. I was wrong. And of course, Bitcoin could go to 100K and then these things lose it. That can happen too. But generally speaking, these things hit. And when they do, I want to be prepared. I want to have alerts set. I want to have bids set. And then they just fill. And then we go on our merry way. So keep an eye on this kind of stuff in altcoins in general, because also historically it's Q2, right? May, June, April, May, June, where you get these like insano blasts in altcoins versus Bitcoin. Doesn't mean it has to happen this year, but don't be shocked if it does. And certainly don't be like, leveraging up here because it's alt season, stopping yourself out here, getting liquidated down here because it's Bitcoin season, and then, missing. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this pattern if that's going to be happening. Okay, we got so many to look at, guys. I'm going to do my best here, rapid fire. RSR. Whoops. Do I have? Yeah, look, I mean, this is kind of cool. Fib extension from this way, going bearish fib extension, looking for entry targets. Holy shit, right? 618 fires both ways. This thing looks good, and we're seeing what I just described. Bottom formation, right? Nice consolidation. And so when it blasts, it's going to have a lot more energy to release. So this one actually is looking a lot better than most versus Bitcoin in that sense. Not strong trend yet, but damn, does it look good. I have a free position in RSR from last year. I have not looked at it. I have not, it's not on the exchanges. It's just sitting in a wallet somewhere. Don't even know what it's worth anymore. It's the smaller side of things because my account was smaller back then, but I wouldn't mind trading this one to get another. And that reload zone did exactly what we just talked about, right? Having those bids, having those alerts, waiting for the reload. Bing! If it hits, cool. If not, you missed it. On to the next one. This thing looks ready to go. Really nice volume coming in here off the lows and sort of just kind of consolidating right now. Don't know what else to say about RSR. Just looks good. Just makes sense. Let's move on to Dia. Was there other ones from Facebook? One Up. Oh, One Up. I don't even know where to find that one. We're gonna prioritize a couple here. Vet already looked at. VGX. That's not the chart. Here we go. XVG. I mean, are we thinking about Verge? I'm assuming. If I haven't heard of it, it doesn't exist. Just kidding. I have not heard about a lot of things. Let's go check out Verge. Holy shit. This is what you want to see, right? Oh, love this stuff. I love when we talk about things we're looking for and then we go and find them. Just makes life so good. Big, slow downtrend, boring, breakout on volume. You can start to think, okay, buyers are really interested at this level. I feel like this was their announcement of something, like something payment-wise was blocked from Pornhub, which made Verge more important and blah, blah, blah. But it was news-driven, didn't last long, but it did give me the sense that, oh, maybe we're trying to put lows in here. Came and tested, even swept that low, and then buyers step back in. Cheeky little buggers, right? Waiting for the best possible time and then going absolutely bananas with the buy volume. This one looks good. It's trending up. It's bringing in big volume off the lows. So wouldn't be in a rush to call tops on this. And if you look back even further, this whole bloody range is kind of like a big juicy bottom formation, isn't it? In fact, let's see if there's bullish divergence on the weekly. Nope. Let's go here. Kind of. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of dope. This is just a big, massive bottom. Fat Bottom Girls, starring Verge. Look at this. Yeah, look at this thing, guys. This is cool. No higher or no lower low, even though price made a droopy, lazy ass lower low. So there's like a bullish divergence on a weekly. So, you tell me, is there any room for upside on this chart? Should I be rushing to call tops on Verge? Should I just be parking some things and not really worrying about it short term and just letting it ride and selling halves on doubles? Probably. That's what I'll be doing if I trade Verge. I don't have any right now, but now I want to get some. This is the problem with this stuff. Best say to move from alts into Bitcoin. Oh, best way. Yeah. For me, just with stop losses. I think some people don't agree with stop losses. I think if you have strong conviction and you're just investing in something, that's a different story. But if Bitcoin decides to really move, right now, Bitcoin is just still kind of, in this range. It's just kind of consolidating. It hasn't made any major breakout like ETH has. But if it does, algorithms are going to dump every single altcoin that trades on Binance or whatever exchange you have versus Bitcoin. They're all going to dump because at that point, the race is on. It's like, everyone back to the ship. Bitcoin's coming. So best way to do it, following key pivot lows with stop losses. Like if that's your plan, I certainly do like to be in Bitcoin when it's going crazy. I think right now we've got a pretty good case for a downtrend on dominance. So I'm not too worried about it. But I actually should have alerts. Let's go see. I mean, I have like a 40K alert, but I wouldn't even mind like a candle body high here, 37.1. 3,700. Let's go here. So if that goes above that, I'm going to be a little nervous about my Bitcoin exposure, trying to maybe shore up some larger alt positions that are just going to get melted versus Bitcoin if this thing runs. I'm not too focused on that right now. Maybe I should be. Okay, guys, we're coming into the top of the hour. In fact, we're well over it. It's 4:20. So we are going to wrap here in a moment, but let me just check a couple here because I'm addicted to charts. I want to make sure we get as many of these requests in as possible because it's such a hot bloody time. Holy shit, INJ, price discovery versus Bitcoin. That is an exciting place to be as Bitcoin is moving up. Go figure. There's no greater feeling in the world than Bitcoin rallying and your altcoin rallying. versus Bitcoin. That's what we call steroids, folks. And it looks like INJ is all over them. And it's called injection protocol. So there you go. Steroids. Meh. Not bad. Bullish throwback, successful. That's all I can say about this one. It's just trending up. It's in price discovery, looks like. So looking good. Looking real good. And even here, right? Trading the bull trend, right? Buying the throwback. Somebody did it. That's why price stopped there. So highs, breaks out, retest. I mean, a little bleedy here. How do you stop loss that? You got to be careful. Using pivot lows down here probably is best bet. And we're off, moving again. Now, as we make these newer highs, you're going to want to see more volume. Big volume, bigger volume, drying up volume. Doesn't mean it's a top, just means I may not be as willing to charge in here and ape full market long into this because the volume's not there to support it yet. Oh, VGX is BQX. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Let's take a look. BQX is Voyager. It's been going ham sandwich for a little while, I noticed. Holy shit. I guess this is an exchange token, isn't it? Oh my God. I was charting it. Why no buy? I chart shit all the time and don't buy it. It's just the way she goes. You guys know that if you've been around at all. I love a good missed trade. Holy shit, guys. I mean, seriously. Come on. August. People are saying, oh, it's the future. It's the future. It was looking toppy as fuck. Nick and I were on here. We're talking about this like, careful, guys. This just looks like it's overextended. On the highs here, where were the buyers? There was none. There was no more interest. That's not enough to call tops in and of itself. But then you add in the fact that there is a high, a lower high, and a breakdown. And suddenly getting out at this retest, which is what everyone seems to have done, that's why it stopped there, is such a good idea. And then it's like, well, you're a stupid bear. Well, no, but I would like to buy in reload zones. I would like to buy at 88.6s. So did I buy Voyager? Hell no. I wasn't looking at it. There's too many coins. But you guys can see why I do this, right? Why we trade like this. Because when you look back, it's just clear as day. And so, and I know a lot of traders, very good, very disciplined, and they'll see these tops come in, they'll see this, they're paying themselves from all their lows they were buying here. And then they just chill, and it's like months and months and months and months go by. What are they doing during this? Staring at Voyager, waiting? No, just setting alerts and then trading other shit. And then when this decides to come to them, comes to us, we say, oh, I'm going to get excited here. I'm going to get excited here. Oh my God. If I still have any bullets left to fire, certainly this 88.6. And holy shit, guys. Yeah. So easy in retrospect. But getting good at trying to practice that, or getting good at actually practicing that, definitely something to do. We got a few more. I'm going to say 3 more requests, then I got to cap it. Because I really do want to get the studio set up. The full studio, so that I can serve us all better long term now, because I'm not moving again for a long time. At least half a decade in this house. Hell no, I'm not moving. That sucked. Cosmos, same kind of thing, right? Chaos, bearish chaos, PRZs, looking for entries off that. Wow, looks like it smacked for bottoms. Again with this candle, I guess everyone's anticipating Bitcoin to wake up here because ETH is waking up. We'll see. A lot of heavy candles on the dailies here for the Bitcoin pairs. And that's kind of what we talked about, right? Getting into these resistances. Oh my God, shake everybody out. What is that? It's a reload zone. Do it again. Oh, it's a reload zone. Do it again. And then when everyone loses flavor for it, alt season Q2 2021. Count it. That's actually probably my best bet for random prediction shit that will happen, because it's never just as easy as like buying into the first big pump and then being successful. But who knows? They are taking a little beating here against these highs. Probably not great to see that rejection after sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests, 6 tests. Atom's so strong though. Like, I'm not too worried about it. Like, we should probably just look at it versus BTC. It's in price discovery. So what am I talking about here? Whoa, hello. 4 hour, I think this was drawn on. Yeah. Okay, well, here was a little setup I did for our newsletter a couple weeks ago. And yeah, basically how to use a pump chaser zone. Find a key level, set breakout alerts, chase it up with a fib. This is how I use it anyways. Chasing it up with the fib, and then drawing it up, trying to get entries back in that pump chaser zone, and then riding it to a 3 or 4 to 1. And that's been going okay. So another test of this key level. Should probably just erase all that ink, but it looks so tasty. I don't want to erase it. Yeah, another test on the key level here. Moving up again. Some nice buy volume coming in. And for this particular setup example, TP1 actually hasn't even come in yet. So $10, looking for it. $9 has been a bit of a key level here, getting some play up and down, friendly number. But, you know, interoperability, Polkadot's going to be hot. The other big one is Atom, Cosmos. So bullish on Atom. You know, who knows what it'll look like versus Bitcoin. But I'll tell you what, it looks great versus USD. That's ultimately what a lot of people here are looking to trade against. So yeah, let's just get rid of that. Because if you look at the daily, oh, wait. Undo. Because this is the chart that has the ink. Not the bloody hell. There it is. Yeah. So yeah, looking at the daily, get a really nice breakout on Atom last month. So this is what I would be looking at if I'm trading Atom. Big consolidation after a big rally, kind of retest, bullish, breakout, go. Big volume on the breakout. Speaks more to the beginning of a rally rather than the end. And now we're just kind of consolidating through here. So I got big, high hopes for Atom up in the $13, $14, $15 range. All right. Newsletter sign up is on Hxro Labs website. Yeah, you guys can check it out on herolabs.io. I'll be putting out weekly updates on our Twitter as well. This weekly got caught up in the move, obviously. Really hard to get a few focused hours in while living out of boxes, but trying to put something out to that extent as a little follow-up tomorrow. So you can check our Twitter for a thread. There's an email that goes out as well, and you can see it on herolabs.io. With that, guys, I do have to run. I've got so much to do today. Got 6 screens I got to put together, get this whole setup going so that I can get live tomorrow with Oh Hey Maddie, who will be on with me at 3 p.m. If you guys tuned in from CCI, shout out to Facebook and that whole crowd over there. We appreciate you guys. Love having you on here. If you want, you can slide into our YouTube, hit us with a sub and a like to let us know you're here and watching. We appreciate all that. Give us a like on Facebook page as well, Hxro Labs. And myself on Twitter at randomtask555. We'll certainly be a little more active once I get settled in, probably in the next 48 hours on my own Twitter. Until then, just kind of holding down the fort here at Hxro Labs until we're back to full speed. So if you guys caught us today, appreciate you guys coming to join us. Ethereum at all-time highs. What can I say? That's exciting. It's probably going to cause a little stir in the market short term and a big stir in the market long term because Ethereum is the king of the altcoins and wide awake right now. So really exciting to see. So for that, I think that's it for today. I will wrap it up there. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Play from strength, manage risk, yada, yada, yada. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with Oh Hey Maddie. Take care, everybody.